and welcome to another edition of 10 Count for UCN Live. I'm Michael Montero, joined at Hollywood Smoke by Mr. Doug Fischer of Ring TV and the sports god, Mr. Dave Smith of NBC Sports Radio. Guys, let's talk Chávez Fonfara. This Saturday at the StubHub Center in Carson, California, Julio César Chavez Jr. coming off a one-year layoff, moving up two weight classes to light heavyweight to fight the rugged Polish Andrzej Fonfara. How do you guys handicap this fight?
I think it's almost an even fight. I slightly favor Chavez. He's the known fighter. He's obviously the house fighter, the A side coming in. But I think he's got more talent and better experience, better championship experience coming into this bout. Fonfara has been to the big dance once against Ring Magazine WBC light heavyweight champ Adonis Stevenson. He acquitted himself well, but he lost. Dropped the champion. He was dropped himself. He's a tough guy. I like the matchup because you have two big, strong, uncomplicated fighters. They try to box, but they're really guys who like to come forward and wear guys down with their physical strength and their volume punching. You put two guys like that in the ring, generally speaking, you're going to get a very good fight. So I'm expecting an entertaining fight that goes the distance, and I like Chavez.
Yeah, Chavez has to be the favorite, but you know what we love about boxing is this is the one sport where you can't hide. If you're not in shape, you can't depend on your teammates once you're in that ring. And Chavez has a history of not training as hard as he should, of partying too much. And who knows, we might be talking about him fighting Klitschko in a couple of years, the way his weight keeps going up. So, and his own father said after the Martinez fight, my son lost because he wasn't disciplined, he didn't train hard enough, he didn't have the conditioning, that's why he lost the fight. So that's the thing. What kind of shape is Chavez going to be in for this fight? How hard has he been training, and how seriously is he taking boxing right now? Because like Doug said, Fonfara's a tough guy, knocked down Adonis Stevenson, so this is a tough fight for him. He's got to take it seriously.
And Fonfara is a natural light heavyweight, so that size advantage that Chavez always had when he was fighting 160-pounders, and even at super middleweight, he was huge. I don't know how much heavier or how much bigger or stronger he's going to be against a natural light heavyweight. We'll see. I don't know where the winner goes from this fight. I think for Fonfara, you beat Chavez, you got a named fighter on your scalp. Because, I mean, even guys who are considered elite fighters and stars like, you know, Gennady Golovkin and Andre Ward or Carl Froch over in England, they want to fight Chavez because of that name. So if a guy like Fonfara, who's getting this opportunity, can make the most of it and beat Junior, that's huge. I mean, that's equal to like winning a world title. But for Chavez, I wonder where he goes from this fight. First of all, if he doesn't make the contraction weight, the 172 pounds, that's a big red flag. That might let us know that maybe Chavez is just never going to get his act together. But I'm wondering, what is he? Is he a super middleweight? Does he want to make a run at light heavyweight? And really, the way he comes into this fight, if he makes weight, maybe even comes in a little bit under 172 pounds, and if he looks sensational against Fonfara, I think he's a huge player at super middleweight. Because like I said, there's a lot of guys, fellow A-sides, who want to test themselves against him, or just they want to fight that name. So he can be in some huge fights. But if he just gets by Fonfara, to me, I really have to question what kind of future he has in boxing.
Well, can Fonfara win a decision against Chavez? Because this is, you know, Al Haymon card, Al Haymon fighter. It's going to be a Chavez house here in Southern California.
And last time I saw Chavez at the StubHub Center in Carson, California, I thought he was soundly outworked. I thought he lost the fight against Brian Vera. That was their first fight, and Chavez got the nod on that card.
And Fonfara is better than Vera. I mean, easily, right?
He is.
Bigger fighter, stronger fighter. He's, what, 6'2", almost 6'3"?
6'2", he's rangy, and he's fresh. He's young. He's not somebody, you know, Brian Vera was a guy who had a lot of wear and tear coming into that fight, and he still gave Chavez fits. But Chavez didn't train for that fight. He missed weight twice.
Right.
So I'm thinking if we get those kind of shenanigans, it lets us know maybe Chavez just really doesn't want to be a prize fighter. But it also might let us know that we could see an upset. But I think if Chavez is on weight, if his conditioning is there, and he is training with Joe Goosen, who does have a lot of pride in that area, fighter conditioning, I'm thinking we could see a very good fight. And if Chavez shines, maybe we're going to see some kind of future from him. Maybe he can become the attraction we all thought he was going to be before that middleweight title fight loss to Sergio Martinez a few years ago.
Normally you got to finish strong, especially in Las Vegas. You got to finish strong, and they reward people for finishing strong. That's why I think maybe if the Lamont Peterson fight had been in Vegas when he fought Danny Garcia, maybe he gets the nod. Vegas judges have traditionally rewarded finishing strong. So when you ask if Fonfara can win a decision, Chavez being out of condition a lot of times in his career, not finishing strong, could hurt him big time in this fight.
Is this Chavez's last chance, guys? Is this, because he's had, 1 strike, 2 strike, maybe even more than that. Is this his last shot?
I think so. For me, it is. I mean, just speaking as a boxing fan, I'm done with him. Because
it seems even the fan base has dwindled down.
Well, here's the thing. You talk about the young Mexican stars. Canelo Alvarez, the first time he ever fought in Southern California, the StubHub Center was too small. They had to go to the Honda Center in Anaheim, and he did over 12,000, 13,000. Chavez Jr., after that letdown against Sergio Martinez, and then when it came out that he tested positive for marijuana, a lot of fans, Mexican fans, who were loyal to his father, said, you know what, if you're not going to take your career seriously, why should we take you seriously? And yeah, we love to back the Mexican fighter, but we want that Mexican fighter to win. And if he doesn't win, we at least want to see him give 100%. And you're not going to give 100% in the ring if you're not giving 100% behind the scenes, when you're not giving 100% in your training at camp. And I think that the HBO's 24/7 going into that Martinez fight, it was entertaining for a lot of casual fans, seeing Chavez Jr. eating cereal in his underwear, training in his living room. But if you're a diehard Mexican fan or a diehard Chavez fan, you were pissed off. That was a slap in their faces. And so they don't buy tickets to see him. Now, I do think they still tune in on television, but if he lays an egg against Fonfara, I don't even think they'll watch him on television.
He's going to have to decide what's more important to him, partying, being famous, having his father's money, or getting in condition to being a great fighter. At some point, he's going to have to make that decision.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I think this is going to be an underrated action fight. There's another fight going on the East Coast that same night, but I think this is going to be an underrated one. Chavez Fonfara, Saturday at the StubHub Center. For this edition of 10 Count, I'm Michael Montero with Doug Fischer, Dave Smith. We'll see you guys next time.